baby.
Howdy, 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 everybody. Teresa here and
Brad.
Bradman.
Brad.
He was being kind of the prep chef for me this here in just a short bit ago. It is August 25th, 2016, Thursday afternoon. It is 12:23 p.m. already, huh?
Wow.
Yeah.
Time flies when you're having fun.
I know. Do you have the weather for us, young man?
I do, young lady. And it's kind of funny. I'm looking at the weather forecast, and over the next 5 days, it is almost exactly identical.
Really?
A high of 91 for the next 4 days. Low of 75 today and 77 the rest of the week. Real feel of 96 degrees and a current temperature of 86. And the sun be shining bright. Yeah. And it's all you now, sweetie.
Okay, honey. I was putting on a little bit of lotion. I have, you know how you get these dry patches right here? Yeah. I was just putting on a little bit of lotion, and I just had my hands in some water. So now I'm putting. Can I have your hands? Because I got way too much.
I can do that. Ooh, she touched me.
There you go. This stuff goes, a little bit of this goes a long way. This Nivea soft face and body and hands refreshing light moisturizing cream. I really like it, and I've had this tube for a couple of years, so a little goes a long way. And I think I bought it at the Dollar Tree, actually. You know, aren't you guys all fascinated about that? Let me get my cheat sheet out. Let's see. Yesterday we did not take any naps because we were trying, or did I? Yes, I did take a nap yesterday. Brad did not. I did lay down for a little bit because you guys knew I was kind of having a little bit of a rougher day yesterday and stuff, so I did end up laying down for a little bit. Let's see. Brad made barbecue chicken last night outside. And mashed potatoes and gravy. He does really good gravy from scratch. And we have carrots with it?
Yeah.
Yeah, carrots. So that's what we had done. Let's see. And we cleaned house, which always really helps improve my mood.
Yeah.
So I'm never really upset about anything, and I think Brad is learning now that he's home more. If everything is organized and clean, then it improves my mood vastly, and I feel like at least my living space is good, as good as it can be. So we did that, and Charlie, that's me. He's stretching and using me. And I watched Letters to Juliet. That was a good movie. I really enjoyed that one. And the other one was I'll See You in My Dream. That was, you know, that wasn't, it was okay, but it's not anything that I would probably watch again. I'm not sure if I watch Letters to Juliet again either, but they're both for romance type movies. So yeah, Brad.
There were no explosions or.
No, and Brad was very excited because that meant, because we gotta take those movies back. He's gotta drop those off tomorrow. That meant that he got to have the computer for 4 hours and binge watch on Heroes.
Yeah.
And then I made a bunch of hats yesterday too. I made 4 of them, baby hats. There's this one, and it's not showing up the right color on there. This is actually purples, different purples. And then this little boy one. These are all baby, of course. Little girl, and then another little boy. So, yep. So those will go all in my donation bag, which we can now do. I think we're going to have to put that in a regular trash bag, honey, because that's just all ripping.
Okay.
If you can do that.
I will do that.
And we could put that bag up there.
Okay.
Okay. So can you do that before the cat gets in it?
I will do that before the cat gets in it.
Oh, thank you, honey. And then I did we made some sales yesterday in Etsy. There's one lady bought some of my paintings and some of Brad's jewelry. Thank you so much. If you happen to be a subscriber and stuff, we really appreciate that. And that really made Brad feel good because that was the first jewelry he had sold on Etsy. So, and anytime I sell a painting, I just love it because it's nice to even know that other people own your work and stuff. So, you know, that really made our night. You know, and I need to contact the buyer because I'm gonna try to ship that out Friday. And if not, Saturday for sure. Brad and I will have to talk about that because the issue is with the Jeep. Our neighbor wasn't able to come over last night and look at the Jeep. I assume he probably had other stuff going on, you know, because they have lives too. So hopefully tonight he will. This is the same neighbor that's going to give Brad a ride to his doctor's appointment tomorrow. So everybody wish him luck on that because he's going to see the disability doctor tomorrow and stuff. To get that further along. He did call on Medicaid and he called, okay, get this, we've been going through this for months, right? Now they say, oh, well, she first said, oh, well, you've never applied for Medicaid. And Brett said, yes, we did. You know, he was real nice and stuff. And then she looked and she pulled up the application. She goes, oh, yeah, the application here. She goes, I don't know why they said you never had applied, so it's under investigation. You know, I mean, because we have our doctor with our last blood test wants to see us both. And we're going to have to go off of the Victoza because we cannot afford it. And so we're going to have to go with some cheaper alternatives. But, you know, even paying the co-pays, it's just, you know, and then the subscriptions. But, I mean, and I know everybody else is going through the same thing, but we'll work it out. I'm not trying to complain, guys. I'm just, like I said, this is how I vent, and it's a stress reliever. And then also I'm using my face ball. I don't know what's on him. Some kind of paper or something I can't get off, but and this is a stress ball, and it also helps with the arthritis in my hands to be able to even sit. And I've been doing this a little bit more, you know, just to kind of strengthen up my hands more and help with the arthritis because I do use my hands so much. Brad's got to make some phone calls here as soon as I get done with this video. And we're going to do some research today because we want to look at what different options they are now talking about for back surgeries and pain relief. You know, that isn't just loading you full of narcotics because, you know, he doesn't want to have to live that way. You know, and so he kind of knows what terminology and what questions to ask the doctor, and he's also going to make a list of all of what he goes through because he and I are the same, and I know so many other people are. If you don't have a list written down even to refer to, you kind of get the white coat syndrome, and then the doctor will ask you what's wrong, and you're like, I don't know, I'm fine, you know, because you just want to get out of there. And then afterwards, you're like, oh, I didn't even bring up this, I didn't bring up that, you know. So it really helps to have, you know, have a note, you know, have a list and stuff of things you want to discuss with your doctor. And then we're going to watch I'm going to watch a couple movies today. He's going to watch one of them with me. And I'm hoping to do some painting today and do some looming, of course, and also want to get that package ready to mail tomorrow. We did just get done making, well, Brad helped me because one of the things is, even whatever disability you have, I think we all need to start looking at it as not that we're disabled, it's just we are still very capable. We just need to do things in a different way. I can still cook, though I will give you this, it is much harder in an RV to cook than it is, you know, in a full-size kitchen, of course. As long as I can sit down while I'm doing it. I have a hard time standing for long periods of time because it goes from my lower back through my hips and my knees with the arthritis. It's the same kind of arthritis. It's a genetic thing on my maternal side. So, you know.
Remember when we always used to joke about, you know, that kitchen we had in Wyoming was so tiny.
Yeah.
And we used to joke about that, yeah, we need to get a smaller kitchen.
And now you're not allowed to say that anymore.
Now I'm not allowed to say that anymore.
Yeah. But anyway, now that gonna off topic here.
Sorry.
But you know, we just have to look at doing things differently. And that, you know, for me, I need to be able to sit down. So what I normally do is gather all my ingredients, so then I can sit down and assemble or cook whatever I'm doing. If I'm going to be cooking in an electric skillet, or if I'm going to use a crock pot, whatever that is. And if Brad's home, either he'll help cut up stuff for me to assemble, or a lot of times I'll do that for him. You know, and that really helps. But we have to look at doing things just in a different way, you know. But when you look at it, you just can't do something anymore. A lot of times, maybe you can still do it, but in a very modified way. Granted, there are some things you just can't do. Am I going to be rock climbing anymore? No. You know. Is Brad going to be snowmobiling anymore? No. But one of the things is I want to get back to cooking in the RV is in such a smaller space, you really have to customize the way you cook too. I made tater tot casserole, and it's cooking outside in the crock pot right now on low. But we didn't have any cream of mushroom or any cream of anything soup, and I didn't really want to use it anyway because it's so full of sodium. You know, those soups are so full of sodium and stuff. So I thought about it, and I thought, you know, I can come up with my own base. I had you know, what's that? It's not cream cheese. Naftal cheese. I had about 3/4 of a package of that. You know, one of the squares. And I had sour cream. And you know, I have spices and stuff. So what I did was, I used that 3/4 are those 1 ounce? No.
What?
I don't know what size those are.
I think they're an 8-ounce pack.
8 ounce. So I would probably use about 6 ounces, and probably about a cup of sour cream. And I used the juice from the can of carrots. You know, because I have learned now that instead of just draining your vegetables, you use that juice because, you know, it really flavors your food too. So, you know, and then, you know, I use some Mrs. Dash Original, some garlic salt, some paprika, some Worcestershire sauce, and then I used half of a package of pork sausage, and then an equal size of hamburger. Brad cooked that in the microwave till it was all the way cooked through. And then I assembled it with a can of carrots, a can of green beans, and a can of corn. And in the sauce that I was making also, I wanted to show them the cheese. Do you have any more up there?
Oh, let me check.
You know, we get this cheese food imitation stuff from the Dollar Tree, and
I think that was our last, John.
okay, it's over there.
Okay.
And you know, Brad likes to use it for if he's making or to use on crackers, and stuff. And we don't like the nacho kind, but we get this kind, and it's the sharp cheddar melt, and it's really good to use like in rice mixes if you wanted to have a cheesy mashed potatoes, if you wanted to put a little bit on like broccoli or cauliflower, and you know, noodle mixes, you know, is a good, cheap, fast, easy way, and a lot cheaper than Velveeta. And so I used, Brad had about 3/4 of this container, and this is an 8-ounce container, in the fridge. And I didn't want to use, because you know we're getting really low on groceries, so I didn't want to use the rest of our cheddar cheese. So I put that in there too. And then another thing is, living in an RV is, yes, I have a big KitchenAid mixer, which I just love, but that thing is heavy and it takes up a lot of room. So we use just a little single paddle hand mixer, you know, that you would use for shakes and stuff, that you just plug in. We use that a lot of times to mix stuff, and it really has a lot of power and works really well. So I mixed all that. Oh, and we put about 1/4 of an onion in there too. So I mixed everything except for the tater tots, you know, in the crock pot after I sprayed it. And then put the tater tots on top, and Brad took it outside and he's cooking it on low. So, but you know, I think assembling my own sauce mix instead of using usually I would use 2 cans of the cream of whatever. Usually I use cream of mushroom. Really cut down so much on the sodium. And you know, also I know exactly what's in it and stuff. I don't know if it's any cheaper with what I added. I mean, I could make it a lot more expensive than I did. I went as cheap as I could, because normally I would you know, put more cheese in it and stuff like that. But I think it'll be good.
Oh yeah, I know.
But you really have to change the way you cook it in an RV. It's like that. Why, you might think, well, why don't they use the crock pot inside? Because the heat from the crock pot in a small space really, you know, heats up your living space.
Toasted.
Also, the crock pot takes up quite a bit of counter space. Either then, you know, because we always have our toaster oven on top of the stove. So I'm going to have to move the toaster oven in back or someplace to be able to accommodate the crock pot, you know. And, you know, it uses the same amount of electricity whether it's inside or outside. And it's outside, it's out of the way. You know, nobody's going to bump into it or anything. So, you know, you make do. You decide what's really important and what, you know, what you can do without. It's like for us, we have to have our ice maker. I mean, we go through a lot of ice. It saves us a lot of money not having to go and buy ice all the time, and taking up a lot of freezer space if you have to go keep the ice and stuff. This way we use it just as it's made. And you know, for us having, I think we have 3 fans out here right now.
Yeah.
I have 2 in the bedroom. Those are important. The dehumidifiers, those are important. I have an electric tart burner. That's important to me. You know, I mean, you decide what's really important, what's not. And, you know, that's all you can do. You know, I want to say, you know, I hope I didn't offend anybody by my language yesterday, but I keep it real. And, you know, if you're offended, I would say I'm sorry, but I'm not, because that's just how I am. I do try to not cuss a whole lot, especially around, like, my granddaughter and stuff. But I am who I am. If that's the worst thing that ever happens, is they hear a few cuss words from me. You know, I heard cuss words from my grandmother, and I turned out okay, I think. You know, my Grandma Maxine could let it fly.
Oh, I'm not surprised.
You know, and you know, it's life. I don't pretend. I'm not gonna put on videos where I'm being fake and phony and pretending that, you know, I try to bring my best forward, but you know, it's real life here.
Everybody has a bad day.
Right, you know, and you know, I snapped out of it, but you know, I'm just feeling very kind of defeated. Things mount up, and you're like, you know, like all of us, could we catch a break? And then you're like, you know, and yes, I know that this is a small thing compared to so many people. So what I've started doing is I've started writing down every day. We started going to notebooks to write down things that we need to do because the little notes we seem to lose. And that way we can even look back. We have the date. We can look back and go, yes, we called and followed up on, or yes, we did this. Yes, we did that. It's like, I need to trim up Brad's mustache and stuff today. And like I said, do a bunch of research. But the things I wrote down today for a positive was, I'm alive. I woke up. That's good. Brad's alive. That's super. All the animals are fine. That's fantastic. We're in Florida. That's awesome. We're together. I'm able to help supplement our income with different crafts that I can do. So that's wonderful. I'm very blessed with that. All my daughters and their families and my grandkids are all doing wonderful. We're safe. I know, like, a friend of ours, Yedamar and stuff, his hometown and stuff was hit by tornadoes and stuff. And I have other friends that are going through some really difficult, heartbreaking stuff right now. Which is, I'm not talking about financially. It's with, matter of life and death and stuff. So, who am I to sit and keep getting stressed out about the finances? And we still have hope. And as long as you still have hope in your life, you're going to make it through each day. When you lose all hope and all drive to keep living is when I've seen elderly people pass away and stuff. It's like Brad's grandmother kind of decided she would die. And she even told us that. Her last childhood friend had passed away. Her husband had passed away years before. She was done. So, but anyway, I'm, trying to keep it positive and everything. And, like I said, life can seem overwhelming sometimes when you have just a series of chain reaction, bad news, stuff. And if you're wondering, yes, there's another one of my crochet scrunchies here. Sometimes stuff just keeps mounting up. Bad news after bad news after bad news. And yes, we're still working on a prescription thing. So, yeah. But, we had a number of things that were just kind of setbacks and stuff. And, it'll all work itself out. I don't handle stress real well as far as when stuff is out of my hands and stuff, then I get super stressed out. And I have to just kind of turn it over to God and turn it over to my husband because, he handles the business stuff much better than I do because I'm much more of an emotional person, But, I have a hard time because it just can seem just overwhelming. And I used to obsess about stuff. I used to really obsess about stuff. And I have to just back off and just kind of put myself in a happy place. But now, I don't know. This is real quick. I know I'm rambling, but you guys are used to that. The orange is the new black. Oh, sisters! If you haven't ever watched it, and you like some real, pretty action-packed and even scary stuff, I wouldn't let your kids watch it because there are some definite adult-type things in there. And, as far as corruption and even some sexual stuff going on in a women's prison and stuff, so I wouldn't, but wow. Now I watched all of the seasons that are on Netflix. I know there's another season, but they haven't released it yet on Netflix, but I'm like, oh wow. It's just like, I'm not going to tell you what happened or anything, but it was good. It was a series I really, really enjoyed. Really enjoyed. Right, hon?
Yep. Yes, you did.
Anyway, what do you got to say for yourself?
Nothing. Just
nothing?
I got to make some phone calls and wait until I can watch some more Heroes.
No. This really helps if you that suffer from arthritis like I do. This really does help with the arthritis. It helps kind of loosen up your hands and stuff. And you've been asleep all morning, you know, when you wake up and they're stiff and sore. This, you know, any kind of a stress ball or exercise or thing really does. It helps me anyway. So, and it helps when you're stressed. So. You know, 'cause I used to be one of those that was a picker when I'm stressed. I don't do that anymore, but I used to be really bad about it.
Proud of you.
I used to be really bad about it on my face and my arms and basically all over my body. And now I don't, you know, and I used to be, you know, like I said, a chronic worrier, you know, and stuff. I mean, where I couldn't sleep and I'd just be upset. I'd stay up all night going over the budget again and again and again and again. You know, so, right, hon? So anyway, I gotta get off here because Mr. Heidi Ho is waiting. He's waiting.
I'm waiting.
He's waiting
Patiently.
to make his phone call. So, I hope everybody's having a great day. And I love you guys, and I do cherish your friendship. And I thank you for your comments and sticking with me on my good days and my crappy days. You know, that's just the way it is. I think you guys are awesome. And say bye, Brad.
Bye, Brad.
Bye, guys.